here, we're going to take things up a notch with a lot more detail and a much more refined kind of sample. 17 Pro, you can see this one actually has dimensions listed on it as well, which I think is interesting. 149.63, 71.44, and 8.75. Now, the other thing, which appears to be true in this case, using this example, is that it's getting a little bit fatter. And actually, I mean, that looks true just holding it there compared to the previous generation Pro. It definitely looks fat. Now, does that mean bigger battery? Yes, most likely. Not by a huge margin, but slightly bigger. The other rumors that are likely to be true here: faster wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, so more components in there. Faster wired charging, hopefully jumping up to 35 watts. Nothing compared to those flagship Android phones, but better. No one's going to complain about faster charging. Obviously, we've still got our camera control button. The other thing, a lot of these models seem to highlight this MagSafe portion and also create this outline for this rectangular section of the back. And that's because, unlike on previous generations, a little screen in here for better selfie video or something, I don't think that's going to happen. That's pipe dream stuff. However, the other portion to mention, with your dynamic island, which still exists there, is the front-facing camera is said to see an improvement up to 24 megapixels. Obviously a new chip, faster device, slightly bigger battery. But I don't know how people feel about the design, which is like the main kind of change. And the fact that you go to a two-tone setup with a lot less glass. Okay, let's pull out the caliper real quick. What does it say on the caliper here? It says 875. Is that what they say? Yeah, 875. We are talking about millimeters. So they're saying that the iPhone 17 Pro, 8.75 millimeters thick, 71.44 millimeters wide, and 149.63 millimeters tall. And so that makes it bigger than the previous generation of Pro. It just makes it slightly bigger in pretty much every way. Now, maybe the reason for that is because of this rumored iPhone 17 Air. As I suggested at the beginning of the video, as I receive more of these models, I'm going to show off those, compare them to these, and that's likely coming up in a future video, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. All right, now let's go ahead and jump inside the magic package. But before we do, actually, let's talk a little bit about this funny little mic that I'm wearing on my hat. Thank you to Hollyland for sponsoring. Which is more beautiful to you? That's going to take a little while to get used
Is this actually how it's gonna look like with the steel? It looks
two-tone thing.
Aluminum or steel or something like that. I don't know.
It's definitely a departure. People are going to know that you're using the 17 Pro Max and not the 16, 15, or otherwise. At least initially. I'm not sure that it's as good looking. Everybody always gets used to these designs, but initially it's just this big gap, and then having the...
It's not attractive, bro. The
flash all the way over there. Looking around the device, otherwise very similar. Wow, this even has a functioning, look at that, there's actually the pins in there for the Type-C. This feels like a finished product, honestly. This is one of the nicest singular manufactured one-offs that I've ever received. Look at this thing. Anyway, everything as far as the layout remains the same, exactly the same. Even the SIM tray is in the same location. Camera control, power. The camera modules themselves, they look roughly the same size. Display size looks pretty much identical. It's a huge phone still. You can see it. It's visibly thicker, this new design, at least in the non-camera sections. If we want to do a quick wobble test,
I think that's going to be annoying. That's 100% going to be annoying. 100% going to be annoying.
This is your chance to invest in mouse.
Okay. Slightly less wobble. There it is, guys. The iPhone 17 Pro Max. Are you guys happy with this? What do you think? Like, is it going to grow on you? Is that something you see as an improvement to the previous generation? I mean, we're talking just about the design. Obviously, there are going to be hardware improvements. The device is going to have the new chip. It'll be faster. The cameras are all said to be improved, 48 megapixels all the way around. They maintain their horizontal setup for the purpose of spatial video. Front-facing camera also gets an improvement. Reverse wireless charging is the rumor, faster charging. But design-wise, iPhone 16 Pro Max or 17 Pro Max? What do you think? I don't know what people are going to think. I honestly think some people can call it ugly. I really do. But it's an iPhone. You know, there's going to be about 1 billion of these things hitting the market all at once, and then people are just going to get used to it. And then a bunch of other companies will copy it. And that's just the future of our lives, whether we like it or not. Now, the trend has been set. We're going to see funny two-tone type of smartphones hitting the market. And it's a market that desperately needs something to feel new anyhow. It's been a long It's been a long
It's a very interesting take. I remember someone even like, I feel like people have actually made like they've come up with this idea themselves like years ago. That this is eventually what the iPhone 20 might look like.
time like this, and then they're like, oh well, get slightly bigger, better specs, other improvements. Now we're titanium, and then they're like, now we're not. At least again, that's the rumor. I mean, this looks like aluminum. Anyway, there you have it. iPhone 17 Pro Max, the best look yet that you're gonna get. What it's gonna be like to have it, to hold it, to buy it.
I can't believe it's actually gonna look like that though. I can't believe it. It's actually gonna look like that.